Oh, sorry. Welcome to Duskwood. Nice place, huh? Would you believe this place used to be called Grand Hamlet? No? Oh, that's fine. You don't have to believe.
Well met.
The dire wolves are the most common threat to the townsfolk here. They lurk in the forest on all sides of us, although most of all on the north bank of the river. These aren't the runt dogs you see in Elwind or whatever you come across. They're as big as a man and twice as vicious.
Farewell.
Sure you don't want me to deal with any Worgen or any, like, undead? I mean, this is Duskwood, right? Don't tell me you've actually finally settled everything here, because that'd be kind of cool, actually.
Light be with you.
Darkness seems inexorably drawn to Duskwood. Master Caravan's quest is the expulsion of evil and heresy. Through our efforts, the people of Darkshire are kept safe. Do you believe you're worthy to join us? I once thought as you. Disillusioned by the complacency of the Watch, I joined the Master. If you wish to prove yourself, it will not be through words. Test your skill against the Worgen in the woods. In the dark woods.
Light bless you.
Darkness conquers all worlds and shires. Hi, everyone. It is about 2, I guess, right now.
Need help?
I
Go
don't
with
care
honor,
enough to do
friend.
those quests. Those quests have no lore. Cooking quests for the win. So welcome to Darkshire and Darkwoods with the dark people darkening the darkness. All joking aside, this is pretty much the dark, cursed wood of doom. This actually used to just be an extension of Elwyn Forest with the river running between it. But the corruption and curse of Karazhan slowly seeped through it over the course of many years. Until it became, well, this. And so this is now Duskwood. Because, yeah, I don't think I have to explain anything else. Now, interesting thing about these Worgen. You notice how these Worgen are living in huts with fires. Honestly, I feel like that's all I need to mention. So for those of you who've been through this zone in vanilla, you knew back then we didn't know what the Worgen were. We know what the Worgen are now, of course. But, seriously, they were just random roving animals, wild, raving beasts back in vanilla. And yet here are Worgen who have built huts and constructed fires and have little, and you know, they're cooking and they have clothing and, yeah, why are we killing these Worgen again? It kind of feels like we shouldn't be. But I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's not a big deal at all. So, for a long time, a lot of people theorized, what is it exactly that cursed the Duskwood? The most common theory, which was actually accepted as writ for... Hey, I should join that guild. What was most commonly accepted as truth for the longest time was that it was the Scythe of Elune that actually cursed this place. Because we know what went through here and we know it had an impact on stuff. And gosh darn it, I need to do something real quick. But no, it actually wasn't, would you believe? Like, I'm actually a little surprised by that, because I assumed as well for the longest time that it was actually the Scythe of Elune and the events related to there too, but no. See, here's what happened. Many years ago, I'd say about 30-ish years ago, this area was actually called Brightwood. And again, it was an extension of the Elwyn Forest. A lot thicker, as you can see, than Elwyn Forest, but otherwise very bright, very chipper. And there was this place called Grand Hamlet, which was basically the single largest settlement in the area that wasn't Stormwind City itself. Grand Hamlet was huge, and Darkshire is built on the ruins of Grand Hamlet. Actually, pretty much this entire region, this whole extended spot here, was basically the Grand Hamlet. The Grand Hamlet was destroyed during Warcraft 1 by the demonic horde, and they built Darkshire on top of the ashes. Well, it's good to have you here. I'm going to try to pronounce your name, and I'm going to fail. But I always try. Eruan, maybe? Either way, welcome to my stream. As I often say to new viewers, shoutouts, and don't be a stranger. You want to talk, you want to chat, you want to ask questions, it is all good in the hood. Unless you violate one of the cardinal rules, then I'll ban you without question. But you're not going to, because you're cool. Eruan, yeah, it's... Yeah. Hey, Case now. There's someone I haven't seen in a while. What's up, dude? So, Grand Hamlet was destroyed in the First War, but sometime before that, this place had already started becoming cursed, and was no longer called the Brightwood. Because, well, there's this place called Karazhan. Now, over at Karazhan, there was this individual there called Medivh, who was infused with the soul of Sargeras, which, well, you already know that story. There's no real need to recover that. The relevant point here is that several of the nobility and the aristocracy of Brightwood, throughout the whole area, not just the ones from the Grand Hamlet, were all invited to Karazhan to meet there and give tribute to Medivh and whatnot. Fun fact, those nobles are actually still there. If you ever wondered why the nobles, the noble ghosts, you know, when we go through Karazhan are there, that's them. So, that's cute. Yeah, so their presence there, and the proximity to Karazhan, and the energies that were seeping out of it from the Nether. Remember, Karazhan is practically halfway into the Twisting Nether. Seeped out and caused all of Brightwood to become Duskwood. So the whole forest is cursed, and has been since then, and will be until Karazhan is actually destroyed. Possibly even past that, we're not really sure, since Karazhan is still there, and still connected to the Nether. I had mentioned some Legion spoilers, but let's just say Legion spoilers and leave it at that. Interesting. A Firefox add-on prevents streaming from viewing or something? Or just Twitch? I don't know. Hey, Deutsch. Okay, so... Eruana, maybe? Am I doing better? Wince. Yes, there are spoilers everywhere, Deutsch. You should know. I'm this close to just giving up on Legion spoilers. And just saying, screw it, I'm going to spoil everything because screw you guys. It's a Lorerun, damn it. The only reason I haven't done that is I know several of my viewers actively do not want to be spoiled, so I would lose viewers for doing that. By the way, this is kind of what I mean. You notice how the forest over here is actually fine. You can see the grass is actually green. And you could actually see the sunlight over here. So, as you can see, the Duskwood curse hasn't actually reached out far enough to reach the river just yet. Unfortunately, it is extremely likely that the continued ephemeral nature of Karazhan will continue to curse the surrounding areas until Karazhan is finally locked down into, you know, the physical realm or destroyed. So, I'm all in favor of just destroying Karazhan. That place has been nothing but a mess ever since Medivh took over. And with obvious reasons. It's basically the Castlevania of the setting. Seriously. I don't know is the answer, Hylisk. Yeah, the Lich King's really good at just killing people. You ever notice that? We could build a theme park. We need to come up with some kind of name that's suitable for it. Why don't we call it, Six Flags.
Well met.
Impressive. It would seem you're capable enough to handle yourself. Maybe more suitable challenges could be found for one with your abilities. The Worgen infestation. stretches farther than the Brightwood Grove. To the south, on the very edges of Darkshire itself, there are more of these savage beasts. They are cunning, evil. They conjure foul shadows to tear their enemies apart from a distance. Go and kill them all mercilessly.
For the Alliance.
I know, weird, right, Deutsch?
Hello.
I don't think going that was too easy. Far greater dangers lurk deep within the woods.
Have a good one. What can I do for you?
I've been told there's some signs of activity at Beggar's Haunt. Some people report seeing lights in the tower east of town. Few would be bold enough to stay that close to Deadwind Pass. Well, I'll go check it out.
Safe travels.
I'm afraid you're all I've got to help here. Stormwind's armies are so taxed by greater evils, they're off fighting the Horde, that they can't spare a single footman to help protect Darkshire. Once again, the Alliance army wasn't here in Vanilla, because of Onyxia, and it's not here in Cata, because of the war. There's more threats here than just wolves, unfortunately. Rotting horrors roam near Blind Mary's haunt on the southeastern south outskirts. If they're not kept in check, they'll visit our homes in the night, deal with the undead, and report back to me for your bounty.
See you around.
Yes. So, actually, hang on. Is that what I want to do? Oh, God, that hurts. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm right. Hey! Someone who doesn't look horribly evil. What's up?
What can I do for you?
My gnomish friend, Cog, has promised to help build me a device which will enable me to peer towards the stars. He's going to call it a star peerer. Or probably just a telescope. I remember a woman by the name of Mary who became well known around here for carrying a looking glass. Maybe you could track her down and see if she will lend us the reflective surface.
Be careful.
Correct, Tetris. That's where I have not been yet. Hey, it's Tobias Mistmantle.
I got a bad feeling.
I'm here because I received a letter from my brother Stalvin. Oh. Well, I haven't seen in years. On arriving here, I was told he was dead. The entire town refuses to offer any explanation. Any mention of the name is met with terror and suspicion. As if I didn't have enough of that myself. He's a Gilnean, so probably a Worgen. I'm afraid of what will happen if my frustration and anger grows any further. I beg you, let me get to the bottom of this. Implore the clerk for any information he may have on my brother.
Long live Greymane.
I do all the lore. There is no lore I do not do. I have no idea what that is, the one. And now I must shoot you. It's okay, it'll be quick. Yeah, at this point we're basically done with the Night Elf storylines. There's not all that much here on the Eastern Kingdoms to do for them. In fact, I think... Yeah, I think we're literally done with the Night Elf storylines now.
How are you?
Ah, welcome, stranger. I'd offer you something. There's not much here. Could you run some errands for a poor old hermit?
By the way, Abbercrombie. I wonder where Fitch is.
See you around. What can I do for you?
Oh, what is a poor man to do? I need some supplies from Darkshire. But the village is so far away, and I am so old and feeble, I never make the trip. Can you go and bring me back some ghost hair thread? You can get it from Madame Eva.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. Yeah.
It is an exceptionally small percent, Tim's up. Pretty much every Gilnean we encounter that is not a Worgen... Well, I should rephrase that statement. Pretty much every Gilnean we encounter is a Worgen, because only the Worgen actually left the safety of the trees of Teldrassil. The civilian Gilneans pretty much stayed there, and to my knowledge have not actually found a place to settle yet. Admittedly, the term civilian Gilnean is kind of a contradiction in terms, but still... See if we can get some of this ghost hair. Excuse me, Madam Eva.
Light be with you.
Ghost hair thread is what you need, is it? I'm afraid I have none in stock. I can make some for you if you can supply the ghost hair. There's a poor, sad spirit, Blind Mary, who haunts an old farm in the hills south of Darkshire. Here, take this spectral comb, and ask her to comb her hair. Then bring back the comb, and I will glean from it the ghost hair I need.
Light bless you.
It seems kind of messed up, really, but whatever. For the Alliance. Whee! Oh, hang on. First, let's ask the clerk about this Stalvin guy. I'm sure Stalvin's a terrible, disgusting, horrible person.
Good day to you.
Can I help you? You want to know about Stalvin? Not the first, you know. We get outsiders coming through asking about him every so often. Always outsiders. Everyone who lives here knows better. You ought to look anyway. I'm missing half the archives. Worgen broke into the town not a few nights ago and tore the place to shreds. Documents you'll want are probably strewn across Brightwood Grove by now. Not worth it if you ask me.
Safe travels.
Yeah. I like this, by the way. There's the mayor, deputy mayor, and a council of this tiny little town. They basically are completely self-governed because Stormwind has been like, nah, you don't exist to us. There's actually a bit of flavor text somewhere, I forget where, forgive me, about how these people don't even pay taxes to Stormwind in general. Because Stormwind provides them nothing. You know, no taxation without representation, that kind of a thing. Whoops, whoops, I want to go this way. It's also why they're pretty much an entirely militia-run organization here. So most of the undead we'll be encountering here in this particular fixture are actually Type 2 undead. For a bit of perspective. We'll be seeing some Type 1 undead later, and I believe one Type 3 undead. Type 3A undead. Or no, I guess that'd be Type... whatever. Shoot, I can't remember my own thing. The type that has their soul still attached, which I believe is Type 3A. Well, considering the situation, Deutsch, I'd have to say yes. In fact, I'd just like to say these people are absolutely insane. Seriously. This is a fully cursed wood. Cursed by proximity to the freaking twisting nether. And they're like, no, we're not going to move. This is our home. No, we're not moving. Oh, I'll kill everyone who tells me I should move. I mean, seriously, I'm amazed these people can sleep here. Because of how messed up this place is. Excuse me, ma'am. I don't suppose... Oh, yes, I used to own a looking glass. The looking glass was one of my finest treasures until the incident. After that happened, I discarded it behind the barn. There was an insane ghoul who used to roam back there. Maybe he picked it up. Oh, please don't look at me. I tore out my own eyes with these very hands, but I can still feel your gaze. I'm hideous. Hideous! Oh, please look away. Is this a comb? It's lovely. And it glides through my hair, as if it wasn't the stiff, stringy horror that it is. Oh, if only I had a mirror. No! Take the comb away from me. I am a monster. And no one will ever think me lovely again. Once again, by the way, classical example of a Type 2 undead here. The lingering spirit. Natural undead. Because remember, some Type 2 undeads retain some semblance of their self, although they usually tend to be obsessed or fixated on a specific thing. Usually it's revenge or violence, as opposed to, you know, how beautiful they used to look and how much of a monster they are now. But there it is. And yeah, I wouldn't eat anything in this place. Holy crap. Yeah, we've grown this here ourselves. I think I'll pass. Thanks. Well, I might as well go murder innocent Worgen. Murdering Worgen. Yes, I know, Lilu. It's just... yeah. No thank you, you know? I would not want to stay... Wait, are those the... No, those are bile fangs. I would not want to stay in this particular vicinity after what's happened here. This is, by the way, all the curse that I've mentioned, that's just the curses involving the proximity to Karazhan and the natural undead and all that horrible stuff. That's completely ignoring the fact that this place was infested by Worgen from when the Scythe of Elune was activated here. I mean, think about that for a moment. That's also ignoring the Dark Riders. Now, I know what you're thinking. Arsh, what are the Dark Riders? Well, let me rewind a little bit. There are two types of people. People who already know the lore and are like, aha! And then there's people who don't know the lore at all and have no idea what the heck I'm talking about. The reason I mention this is because... Yeah, look at this. Worgen mages. Yeah, definitely feral. Cough, cough. Anyways, the reason I mention this is because we haven't actually known what the Dark Riders are until extremely recently. And I mean extremely recently. There was a comic that came out much very, more towards the modern era that finally actually explained what the Dark Riders are. So, for any lore hounds who've been playing this game since vanilla, they've been like, we could finally figure out who those bastards are. And for anybody else, their response is probably, what the heck are the Dark Riders? So back in vanilla, there's this whole quest chain here about finding out what happened to a gentleman's wife and family. And it turns out they had been killed by Raving Worgen. But there was also this group called the Dark Riders that were involved, and were some horrible, cursed, undead people on dead mounts. And, of course, everyone's like, aha, they're Death Knights! And it's also worth noting that those Death Knights, or whatever the heck they were, also ended up riding specifically towards and from Karazhan. Well, turns out they are from Karazhan, and they are not Death Knights. So I'll go ahead and tell you the story of what the Dark Riders really are, finally. You see, there was a group of merchants, and they were trying to sell something to our good friend Medivh. This was when Medivh was being fully, was having difficulty dealing with the Sargeras soul that was inside him. So when they tried to pull a fast one over on Medivh, he really didn't take it well, and cursed them into this horrible state of undeath. They're effectively a Type 3 undead, Type 3A specifically, except they are horrifically cursed and are completely compelled to seek out artifacts and bring them back to Karazhan. That's literally their only driving force, is to seek out artifacts and to bring them back to their master. So they've been riding through the area ever since, and it's only been like 40 or 50 years or so, as they've been roaming the hills, looking and scouring different artifacts. They actually have found several that I would name, but I'm not going to. But the most important one is, of course, the Scythe of Elune, which was actually brought here by a night elf, and then was taken by them, and then they actually lost it again. No, they're not. They're actually very similar to the Nazgul, yes, but they are not quite like the Nazgul. Because, yeah. And then again, maybe they're more like the Nazgul from the books. I don't know. Oh, hey. There's the letters. What do we got here? To my former master, I write so you might know that your apprentice has been doing of late. Paying heed to your advice, I sought to build my knowledge and wisdom through travel outside the gates of our beloved Stormwind. My journeys took me many places, but I settled to take up residence near the lovely town of Moonbrook. The surrounding fields of Westfall are most beautiful as the harvest approaches. Within just a few days of my visit, I found myself tutoring the local children from nearby farmlands. The lessons went so well the town mayor commissioned me to run a school, and construction has begun on a brand new schoolhouse. From Silverpine to Stormwind and now Moonbrook, who could have guessed I would see so much of Azeroth? Dear noble sir, word of your need for a tutor of children for your children has traveled to me in Goldshire, where I've taken up temporary residence in the Lion's Pride Inn. Due to the unfortunate state of events in the region, I was forced to abandon my post as headmaster of Moonbrook. Please accept my application to serve as tutor for your offspring. Headmaster Krillian of the Academy can speak to you of my abilities if necessary. I shall travel to meet you in person until the winter rains subside once again. Stalvin Mistmantle of Silverpine. Okay. So, other than the cursed rider thing, what's the connection to the Nazgul? Like, maybe I'm just missing it. Whoops, I'm supposed to go over here first. I mean, yes, they are riders who are cursed and undead, and ride on horses, and serve a master. But how does that make them the Nazgul? Like, seriously, what am I missing there?
Greetings.
I showed Cog the beginnings of our star viewing machine. He was impressed. Did you happen to find a reflective device? It's most superb. This will work greatly, thanks. Now, there's just one more item I need. The blueprint calls for a lens of sort. The only lens I know of would be difficult to acquire. There's an ogre by the name of Zockfool, except he only has one head, who resides in the mound in southern Duskwood. If you can, bring me his monocle. You want me to get the monocle from an ogre.
Light bless you.
Okay. I guess I just don't see it, guys. Sorry. I mean, I know a decent amount about Nazgul lore and the whole, kings slowly corrupted by their power and slowly turned into extensions of the will of the person who sent him, that kind of a thing is what I tend to think of with Nazgul, not they're dead guys on horses looking for an artifact. That's not the way I think. Sorry, guys.
Need help?
You performed well against the Shadow Weavers, but even now, years after their first arrival, there seem to be so many to replace the ones we kill. I will put my faith in Master Caravan. No doubt he will get to the bottom of the problem. Your accomplishments have convinced me you're ready to take on the toughest Worgen in the woods. The Worgen that have made their home here, the Vile Fangs, and the Tainted Ones are the most dangerous. They've settled down near the mines to the south. From far away, you can even see the light from them.
For the Alliance.
Can I help you?
There he is, Master Caravan.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Do you have the comb? I can make a spool of ghost hair thread from this. I have a few strands to spare. Here's some coins. Here's your thread. It has 1,000 uses, from binding evil spirits to sewing life into inanimate objects.
Farewell.
Why would you name that specifically? I mean, seriously. See, I guess my point about the Nazgul thing is, I'm one of those people who has championed for years the idea that Blizzard steals ideas and makes them better. Blizzard of Borg, right? I've been saying that for years, but I just don't see the Nazgul thing. I don't see... I'm not the kind of person who's like, well, because they do that, therefore everything they do is that. I don't know. I give up. It's not a big deal anyways. It's just weird.
You need something?
Look, sir, I really don't want any trouble. Oh my god, you actually went and got it? I'm shocked. I suppose I should owe you thanks for returning it to the archives. If you're that serious about this, I'll help you. I know where the other documents are. I'm just too terrified to do anything about it. There's only a few places those horrible Nightbane beasts gather when they're not prowling the forest. One of them is the rotting orchard to the south. They use the buildings there as their den, so if you haven't just eaten the other document, you might find one there, but you'll have to thoroughly search their lairs, I wager.
See you later.
Hey there.
Splendid. For your service to the people, you shall be rewarded by making you into a dwarf Worgen. Tranquil Garden Cemetery, further to the south. There's a place you don't want to be caught at night. The bones that rise from the ground there are cunning enough to remember how to swing an axe or cast a spell. I shouldn't need to explain how dangerous that makes them. Proceed with caution, but remember, the people of Darkshire will suffer if you falter. You have
careful.
a military, right? I mean, it's a militia, but still, that's something, right? Maybe? No? Okay, what do I know? Yes, Deutsch. You're gonna be a Worgen. Or... crap. Well, congrats, you are now Fel infused, Deutsch. So, and it's right on your head, too. The best place for there to be something Fel. isn't it? Oh, is this the one I wanted? Okay. Tell you what, there. Instead of being a Worgen, you'll be a Saberon. I don't know, Zawan. I can tell you what it's like in most of my settings because I actually rule them differently, so they specifically do fire damage.
How are you?
I need to string my ghost hair thread along my door and windows to keep out unwanted spirits. Did you get it for me? Oh, delightful. This will do splendidly. Here, take this as payment for your honorable deed.
And he gives me a doublet of deception. Gee.
I need a bottle of a certain liqueur. Zombie juice. Tavern keeps Smits at the Scarlet Raven Tavern. Should have some. Oh, and please hurry. These nights get cold. And I need that drink to put fire in my veins.
Actually, that's
Safe
a bit
travel.
of a myth. If you drink alcohol while you're freezing, it won't actually assist you in feeling better. Okay, he just wants alcohol. Got it. If you just want to get drunk, just say it. God. I'll go get your poison for you. And I will always agree with that idea, by the way. There is no such thing as an original idea anymore. We've had millennia of creative fictional works. There might be things that are twists on things or variants on things, but it's all been said and done. Alright, we'll get you drunk then. I want to get drunk, puny human. Allow me to drink of your alcoholic beverages.
You need something?
Zombie juice, huh? That's some strong stuff. I don't usually get requests for it. If you bring me some rot blossoms, I could brew up a batch. They grow in strange places. They tend to flourish in the dead things. Duskwood has its fair share of those. I've seen a few of them growing at the Tranquil Gardens. Check near the graves, but mind the dead.
So
Very well, but first I will dance. Aw, it won't let me dance. Very well, I will go and defeat the undead. Gong, 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 gong. So you mean Spider Pig, Kay? He does whatever a Spider Pig does? It's the best tale ever. Although really you should be congratulating Deutsch on his tale. I'm going to kill you all. For the Alliance, I guess. I don't know, but... Oh my god. Really, Samurai? Alright, quick, Deutsch. You have to come up with a battle cry. What is it? Yes, that. Exactly that, Eyeless. I love how these guys hold the guns. Like, he's just carrying around one-handed, but that's not the part I'm amused by. Watch him when he actually shoots. Right there. Death to the Alliance! And to the living! Oh my god. I'm going to use that as your battle cry from now on, by the way, Deutsch. I just want you to know that. He totally is. He should do the... I'm sorry. There are some really serious flaws to Terminator 2, the movie, but I still absolutely love a lot of that movie. And forgive me, but one of the coolest things in that movie is the way he freaking used that shotgun early on. I loved that. And then there's the scene where all of humanity is destroyed and her skeleton is left clinging to a fence. That actually gave me nightmares. Legit. Eru! I'm going to start calling you Eru. Whew. Pressure's off. Ah, damn it, we're not a wolf. What else have we got? What else have we got? What's this one? Deutsch, you're a fire elemental. Honestly, if they literally changed one thing, just one thing, I would enjoy T2 a lot more. The damn kid. You know, John. He is such a brat. Well, nukes have always affected me a bit in general, Nicolas, so that might be part of why. But, yeah. Oh, that's right, I do have the orc one, don't I? Oh, what's the name of it? That's the hat, isn't it? Where is it? Where is it? Damn it. Why do toys have level recs? Why would a toy ever? Look at that. Required level 90. Why? Why does a toy, a cosmetic toy, have a level requirement? Dear Blizzard, you're stupid. Sincerely, Archie and Gaia. P.S. Let me in the Legion beta, you bastards. Why would you do that? I honestly don't actually understand that. PvE. Why would you ever have a cosmetic item have a level requirement? Now, the funny thing is, you're like, well, actually, I can name something else that has a level requirement that is in this game. Yes, you can. Transmog. The whole reason I can't actually transmog myself properly is because of level recs. Otherwise, I could actually probably arrange something. Yes, I know that's the one. That was the point. Thank you for getting it. Anyways, point is, T2 was awesome. I just realized I'm shooting from my sword. That's a thing I'm doing. Hey, look. What do we got here? Giles, the boy, seems a bit rambunctious. It'll be a challenge to educate, but the elder daughter, Taloa, she's exceptionally smart. I couldn't help but noticing her captivating beauty as well. She's on the cusp of womanhood now, as supposedly the Lord has arranged marriage for next year, but I digress. This week I'll accompany the family to their summer cottage near Eastvale, close to the Red Ridge Mountains. I hope to write more while I'm there. Most strange and uncomfortable feelings. I've never felt this way like I did today. Whilst visiting Giles with his history lesson, Taloa was outside tending the garden. After a few minutes she came inside and placed a scarlet begonia in my open palm and smiled me in such a way that I made my heart feel as though it was trembling in my chest. This whole quest is just messed up, by the way. Oh, I like that, Malaeus. By the way, just like to say, y'all fail. You want an example of a gunblade, look no farther than Farscape. That's a real gunblade right there. Hey, Jijus. Am I the only one who thinks this guy's like dancing when he moves because of the rhythm of how he bops? No, it's just me. Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. Lightning had a gunblade as well. Proving forever that gunblades are stupid. Now, chainsaw swords, those are much more awesome. Also, chainsaws attached to guns is a thing too, while we're on the subject. What toy was that? Oh, it's this one. Burning Defender. So that would be... I just used it. Where is it? Here it is. Burning Defender's Medallion. That's the one I used. I knew someone would get the Gears of War reference there. Death to the Alliance, as Deutsch would say. And to the living. Wow, there's corpse weeds around here. That's not creepy at all. The hell? A gun... I'm trying to picture a gun rapier. I'm picturing a gun with a really long barrel. Or something. I don't know. What? That's a rare? Seriously? That was a rare back there. Why didn't... Oh, that's... Okay, okay. I understand everything now. It's a rare I haven't seen before. And he's dead. He didn't drop anything. I didn't think he would. He's a vanilla... Well, he's a... Old world, new world rare. They don't drop anything. They drop bags and green garbage. Gun lightsabers. How the hell does a gun lightsaber work? The meaning... Don't ask me that question right now, Deutsch. Where is this ogre scum? Where are you, ogre? I'll kill all your minions if I have to, for I am a raging elemental and definitely not a dwarf. It really is an ogre monocle. Don't mind me. I'm a fire elemental. Actually, I'm technically a revenant, but it's just a different form of a fire elemental. One with a little bit more armor. You know, I think it actually would be faster to go to the flight path over here. You know, it just occurred to me that in addition to being a place which was cursed by being near Karzan, cursed by having a powerful necromancer in it, cursed by having the Scythe of Elune in it, cursed by being wiped out by the demonic horde, this place is also cursed by being a place where the Emerald Nightmare was seeping out into reality. Seriously. This place is like quadruple cursed. I can't
Hello.
believe anyone
See
wanted
you.
to stay here. Seriously. Just, wow, you know? That tree over there, that's the tree I mentioned the other day. That Fandral grew here, along with a few others. And that's where the nightmare was seeping out. Yeah, this place is just, wow, why would anyone live here willingly? Without trying to fix the place. Oh, that's right. They can't fix the place because the Alliance is off fighting the Horde. Oh, it's okay. Now that the Horde Alliance war is over, they can dedicate all their resources to reclaiming Duskwood and Westfall, right? Right? See you in a bit, Deutsch.
What can I do for you?
Were you able to convince Zarkfool to lend his monocle for our experiment? Ah, at last, the stargazing item is complete. Thank you, Deutsch. Now I can continue my research.
Go with honor, friend.
Look, I am totally okay with, like, not abandoning family, but home is where you live, in my opinion. Home is where you are. That would be cool, Nurzgul. I'd actually like doing quests like that. And get to see, like, a new phased version of Duskwood and Westwall that's actually reclaimed and decent and awesome.
Light be with you.
Deutsch, to be honest with you, I did not believe you would get this far. But you are clearly a hunter to be reckoned with. In fact, if you wish to formally join Master Caravan's struggle, I will gladly write for you a letter of recommendation. Here you go. Bring this message to Master Caravan. A few more like you and we will outnumber the Night Watch. Perhaps then we could complete the work we carry on today.
Be careful.
I'm glad you're liking it, Goldar. It was a request, an old request from a longtime viewer of mine. Which is why it took me a while to get around to it, but when I finally did, it's like, yep, this is what I want to do. Hell, I would rather live in Westfall than Duskwood, but that's because I know just how severely cursed, literally cursed, this place is. That is a weird gun rapier thing. But hey, you know what? It works. Master Caravan, the bearer of this note, has shown himself to be upstanding in the light, capable of battling the undead and demons that plague the borders of Duskwood, and willing to join the Caravan and his family in their cause of the light. I would suggest you give this warrior of the light further duties, perhaps investigation of the townsfolk that are under suspicion. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's turn in these other quests first.
Need help?
So we've killed a bunch of undead. Yay!
Farewell.
That's pretty much that quest. We killed the undead. Yay!
Hey there.
You're back in one piece, I see. Is this all you found? It's bad news, I'm afraid. This isn't all of it. You should let it go, Deutsch. The only place left to look is Roland's Doom, the mine south of town, and largest lair of the Worgen in Duskwood. Nobody in Darkshire has ever made it back to that place alive. In fact, some of the records I have here imply that that's where the monsters first came from. Please, just give it up. Let's just forget this whole thing and never speak of it again.
Have a good one.
You know what? I actually agree with that mindset. The Stalvin situation was really messed up. It's not as messed up as it could be, but it's still messed up.
Hey there.
Do you have those blossoms for me? Good, good. Oh, right. Hang on. It doesn't matter. Here's the zombie juice. Careful with that stuff. It's strong enough to raise the dead. Ha, ha, ha! Not that you'd ever be interested in that, would you? No, zombies do not wish to honor the dead. What? Proof, Goldar. Proof. The only rumor I've heard about that was one of the developers said how he'd like to do that. But now I believe it. But what I'm asking for is confirmation, Goldar. Because I haven't seen it yet myself. Also, FF9 is still not freaking out. Me and my friend Gary have literally been waiting for it to come out to actually do a playthrough of it. Just sitting there, waiting. For reasons that I won't go into. Long story short, he actually hates the gameplay of FF9. Like, actively hates it. He refused to play any more of it without the cheats thing turned on. He liked the story.
What can I do for you?
I need that zombie juice to keep me awake on these cold, dark nights. Oh, did you get it from me? Oh, 1,000 thanks, Najar Honor Guard. You warm an old man's heart with your foolish kindness. Kindness. Here you are, friend. Take this as token of my gratitude. A few weeks ago, I was picking herbs far from my house, and a band of ogres attacked me. I ran. I was forced to leave behind a crate of precious tools and herbs. After they chased me off, the ogres swaggered back to the mound in Duskwood. I'm sure my crate is somewhere near the mound. Please, Najar Honor Guard, retrieve this crate for me, for I miss it solely.
See you around.
If you're going to link it to one of the mods in a whisper. I think Samurai and Deutsch are the two mods we're on right now. When I say hated, I mean he refuses to play the game. He literally refuses to play the game. The funny thing is, he and I sat down and really thought about it, you know, taking away all prejudice, because, you know, I absolutely love FF9. And I actually get where he was coming from. Would anyone like to hear our results and why FF9's gameplay had issues? That's right, Deutsch is eating right now. Even he agreed that 9 has a good story, but... Where's... Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. Down, down.
What can I do for you?
Yes, what is it? Make it quick. I have pressing matters to attend to. Excuse me for my cold reception, but as I'm certain you can see, I am an extremely busy man. I see you have impressed Calor, and I assure you this is no small feat. He has given his recommendation. There are unsavory types afoot, Deutsch, and we can use the help of all who have proven themselves. We battle against demons, undead, and those who would provide them aid. Be vigilant, be wary, and trust no one. Glory under the light.
See you around.
Okay. Yay, it's raining. So, actually there are two big reasons why he hated the gameplay while I'm traveling down here. Reason number one, load times on each combat. The fact that the PSN version still keeps the artificial slowdown of the PS1 emulation drove him absolutely insane. Every fight was black screen. Oh, hang on. Pan across the battlefield, pan across the battlefield, pan across the battlefield, and then camera settles, and then you can actually start the fight. That's not an exaggeration of what I just did. I was actually picturing it in my head. That's how long it takes for every battle to start. That was his first complaint. Yes, Ironman is done forever. We're not actually going to be touching him ever again. It's one of the reasons why speedruns for FF9 games, a lot of the strategy is solely focused around avoiding fights. But the second reason is the difficulty curve is badly designed. I'm serious. It actually is. Most well-designed difficulty curves could be best described as this. If you're going through the game and not grinding, you never stop to level, but you also don't avoid battles, you should be at the appropriate level for the combat, for the encounters that you're about to face, right? You with me? And this has been true for a lot of other FF games, a lot of games in general, actually. My actual favorite example of that is Paper Mario, the original Paper Mario on N64, which had a perfectly flawless difficulty curve based on that idea, right? So, FF9 actually had a flaw in the fact that they lowered the encounter rate of FF9 relative to previous games. Now, you may look at me weird, but I'm serious. Relatively speaking, FF9's encounter rate is actually much lower than FF1 through 8's. As I've said many times, one of the biggest flaws of the older FFs is the hugely high encounter rate. You know what I'm talking about if you've played FF4 or FF5 or FF6 even. 3 steps, encounter, 3 steps, encounter. And of course it was even worse back in the NES era. So they lowered the encounter rate. Good, awesome job. They did not relatively increase the amount of gain from combats to compensate for the lowered encounter rate. In other words, you cannot go through that game for the first time, not knowing what you're doing, and actually be at the correct level to be where you should be for any given area. You will be under-leveled. Gary was actually stopping every now and again and going and grinding, and he was still under-leveled because of that flaw in the design. Now you might be like, well, that seems like a really weird flaw out of nowhere. Why is that? Well, I can actually explain why that is. Because every single boss in the entire game of FF9 has a trick to it. There's something you can do to maneuver your way through the boss and bypass the boss mechanics, and otherwise make the fight a lot easier than it should be. And if you don't know about those tricks, because you're playing the game for the first time, you get to go grind. A lot, relatively speaking, because of how much experience you're losing out, because they didn't compensate for the lowered encounter rates. Yeah, like I said, I imagine a lot of us, including me, I freely admit, this never really occurred to me because, well, A, because it's my nature to either under-level or over-level, so I never would really notice, and B, by the time I played the game the second time, I knew it inside and out. I knew all those tricks on those bosses, so I was like, okay, I gotta do this on this guy, and this guy, and yada yada yada. But if you don't know those tricks, because you're playing the game for the first time, you see the problem. This is why I say it is actually a feature of bad design. Do not mistake me, FF9 is still one of my favorite FFs, and one of my favorite games of all time. But having reanalyzed it and really actually pulled out the math for it, I do have to agree that is a flaw. Especially when you consider the stat gain problem FF9 has. Yes, I have, Nerd School. I was actually talking about it earlier. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, maxing out stats in that game requires a very specific, concerted effort to do. This is news to me, Kay. I should clink this link here from what's his face, from Goldar. Now my train of thought's gone. Hi, link that has audio. I need warnings if you're linking me something that has audio. Okay, that's just the same rumor I've heard, so there's no actual FF12 HD in the works still. Or if there is, they haven't officially announced it yet. Yeah, that was IGN. So, there's two problems with the stat gain situation in FF9. The first and the most obvious is the fact that you completely plateau at level 72 or whatever it is. Forgive me for not remembering, but it's around the 70s, I know that. That is extremely counterintuitive, especially to anyone who's played basically every other FF other than 8. I mean, it's not like you need to be above level 70 for most stuff, but a lot of players I know, and I will include myself in this, without even thinking about it, automatically pushed all the way to 99 to go after the super optional Ozma, and Hades, actually, for that matter. And so we're like, all right, level. It never occurred to me to check my stats every level to see how my stats were going up, because I didn't think this was Final Fantasy IV. For those of you not aware... okay. For those of you not aware, back in Final Fantasy IV, every time you leveled, the stat ups you got were random. And so, to actually max out your stats, what you'd have to do is level, and then check a few things, and then be like, okay, I didn't get the proper optimal stat ups, so reload a previous save, go kill a few things, level, check the stat ups, that kind of a thing. FF4 handled the curve much better, yes. In fact, in FF4, FF4's level 40 was about the equivalent of FF9's level 70. And then you could keep leveling and keep getting your stats up in FF4. I've been invited to hanging out tomorrow. I forget the specifics of the stats situation in FF9. But I do remember that you have to do specific things with the secondary characters to prevent them from destroying stat gain on the main characters. I remember that distinctly. And there's also some... Damn it, you're going to make me look this up. Hang on a second. Let me just look this up here, because I was reading about this not too long ago. Oh, that's right. You also gain fractions of stats in FF9. That's another thing, too. For those of you who don't know what I mean, certain equipment will actually give you pieces of a stat in order to increase your stats even more when you level up with that equipment equipped. So, that's another thing. Let's just... The point is... I don't even know what the point is. Why did we bring that up? I don't remember.
What can I do for you?
All right, let's go ahead and read these journal pages I've had for forever. Let's talk about WoW for a second. Okay, so... Most certain she shares the same feelings for me now. She even placed her hand on mine this morning. When she smiles, her eyes light up like glittering diamonds. Unspoken words pass between us. I can feel her heart pounding in heated veins. Next page. Anger and fury, the likes of which I never even knew existed. How dare she? As I was instructing Giles in the meaning of numbers, she appeared with me with her suitor, holding hands in public nonetheless. What an uncouth young man. Rather than introducing me properly, Taloa simply said, "Oh, that's just my tutor, Uncle Stalvin. He's a nice old man." Old. At that word, my cheeks flushed. I am but a few years older than her, and she...
Hello.
I told you it's not worth pursuing. You actually went and got it. I don't know whether to call you brave or insane, but I guess the archives thank you. You've recovered everything, except the last page, which I've got right here. Don't look at me like that. You'll understand when you read it. Some say the page is cursed, you know. In fact, I was relieved when the Worgen broke in and made off with these things. Take it. Take all of it, in fact. I thank you for recovering my archives, but I don't want anything to do with this ever again. Just leave me alone.
See you around.
So I actually played in the EverQuest Next Beta. I was extremely unimpressed with it. I can't say I'm sad to see it go. It is very logical. It is a shame for the people working on it. I feel bad for the developers. But the game itself, no loss. So the last page. Downward spiral of despair. First she mocks me, and now she's engaged. The ungracious charlatan was pretending to love when she truly desired to hurt me all along. A black void lurks within me now, and it grows with every waking moment. The blood I shall spill pales in comparison to the tears I have shed.
What can I do for you?
You're back! Did you find anything about my brother? I can't thank you enough. I had hoped for this to be a joyous reunion, but the more I learn, the less I'm glad to have asked. But I must know. This can't be. My brother was strong-willed, but just vileness, sickness, violent, bloody evil. I must have answers. I need to know how I got that letter. I need to know if Stalvin really did this. I need to know why. Take my ring. Bring it to Madame Eva. The woman is a follower of the old arts and makes no secret of it. Call it madness, but I'll try anything at this point.
We are bound by a common enemy.
At the moment, Hylisk, we are pursuing the legend of Stalvin and his depravities. Yeah, Deutsch answered the question for me before I could get to it.
You need something?
The dark whispers guide you to my door, Hunter. How interesting. It's been a while since I've seen such a ring. I'm afraid I cannot give Tobias the answers you seek, but I can help you find the person who can. Stalvin Mistmantle. Take the ring into the woods to the east, to Manor Mistmantle, where Stalvin's body was buried. Hold the ring before you, let the waning moon pour its light through the ring, and the spirit will answer your call. Take heed, Deutsch. The questions of the living can offer more comfort than the answers of the dead.
Be careful.
Yeah, it would be really, really, really nice to be a stream partner, as I've said many times, but it's not happening. I have given up on everything, so there's no point in trying. Wait until someone else is done with the cutscene. Oh, by the way, Deutsch, you notice our new gun? Behold, the new gun. This is as fancy as our gun's getting, so I hope you like it. Alright, let's see what happens here. My ring. Who holds my family ring? Taloa, is that you? Brother! Tobias. Tell me it's not true, brother. Tell me you didn't die a murderer. Oh, it's all true, brother, every word. You doubted it. But why? How could you? You know why. Surely you felt anger. Anger so foul and vicious it makes you want to tear someone to shreds. Aren't you feeling it right now? No, no, stop it. You see, brother, we're not so different after all.
Get gabbing or get going.
Mr. Harris may have been right. It would have been better to leave the past behind. I've got a new life now. Whether it's that of a monster of a man is up to me. As for you, I cannot thank you enough for your assistance, regardless of the outcome. Please take this with my thanks.
Good day.
I've been trying to keep my true self hidden away from the people of Darkshire. They seem to react poorly to Worgen. There are many more of us here, though, beyond the city. The companions I first traveled here with are search for wild Worgen, and they believe some of them, with telltale signs, can be returned to sanity. I'm not quite ready to join them. Please send word to the apprentice that I'll be staying in Darkshire a little while longer.
Let the light of the new moon guide you.
So I'm going to summarize the Stalvin storyline for you, because it's presented piecemeal, and I'm sure some of you didn't quite get it. There's a gentleman named Stalvin Mistmantle, someone who, like his brother, has always had a severe temper problem in his life. He fell in love with one of his own students, who he was asked to tutor. Taloa is her name. He believed she actually returned the affections, but she didn't. She just thought of him as a fond, teacher-student relationship kind of a thing. When he found out she didn't return his feelings, well, he didn't take it very well, and that temper problem came up, and he brutally butchered her and her husband and her brother and everyone else in the area, eventually killing himself, too. What we just did was bring up his corpse to, ask him what the hell. And, yeah. So that's what was going on with Stalvin, for the curious. Meanwhile, I hope you've been paying attention to what this guy's been doing. So far we've gotten this guy Ghost Thread, which can reanimate living tissue, Zombie Juice, which can actually bring the dead back to life, and a crate of his things. Thank you, Deutschkind. You've more than earned your reward.
Happy nights ahead. Yeah. Oh, on the outskirts of town, it's a wonder the walking dead haven't eaten me. In fact, just yesterday, a pack of ghouls was pounding on the wall of my tower. I want to make an effigy, kind of a scarecrow for ghouls. To do that, I need some ghoul ribs. You can find plenty of them on the fetid corpses. Get the ribs for me. I'll repay you with coin.
See you later.
Anyone who's played Heroes of the Storm knows exactly what's about to happen. And anyone who's done this in vanilla, of course. Hike fives, by the way. Why wouldn't you serve the Lich King? I don't know why he does it to him. Honestly, I do genuinely think he's just a crazed old hermit. He happens to be a crazed old hermit who is a necromancer. He is distinctly a necromancer, though. That's undeniable and unquestionable. See you around, Deutsch. Alright, guys, Deutsch is gone. All hail Emperor Samurai! Oh, God, my back is killing me. Okay, hang on. If I sit in a really weird position that doesn't hurt, I just need to get into that position. Yes, Last Exile, because you guys voted for it. Hey, Baronessa. Please don't open Pandora's box, Samurai. Please. I actually got a question on my Tumblr recently, which was, I'd like to recommend you ruminate on these 17,000 animes. And there was just a list of them, and I just was like, oh my God, why? Why, God? Why? Why hast thou forsaken me? No story reason, no. I mean, we could make up a character for Deutsch's character. But he was actually a guy, Baronessa. Also, I'm not sure what the spring would do to me. I'm not sure I want to know. What do you guys think? Should we come up with a backstory for Deutsch? The dwarf, I mean. Approximately $1,000 a one. But if I was the Lich King, I'd be fine, Nicholas. Do you... I would actually... Okay, guys, I want you to picture this for a moment. The Lich King, you know, full voice, armor, everything, running for president of the U.S. right now. He's like, I will run for president of the United States. I can't do the voice, but, you know, Doom voice, you know. What do you feel about this particular policy? We should take care of our education. It is very important to the future of our people. And what do you feel about crime? All criminals will become agents of the Scourge, living or dead. I see. I totally would. I would totally do it. And when it finally got to the point where everyone would try to, like, get rid of me because they think I'm just being ridiculous, then there'd be killings and undead enslavings, you know, all that fun stuff. You know, the usual. Well, this is fictional politics, so on, so it's okay. And then I'd head to Britain and run for Prime Minister. Oh, you will all serve me, living or dead. What do you think? Should we use the euro, or should we go ahead and try to try and push forward with the continued usage of the pound? I think both currencies are irrelevant in the new future I will create. There will be no need for currency in the Scourge. Every mouth shall be fed, whether it is the flesh of the living or a good pot pie meal. Oh, no, no. Or pork belly meal. Excuse me. You have to have your fun with it, Samurai. Too many people think the bad guys, not that I'm saying I'm a bad guy, are just interested in winning, but that's never the goal. The winning part is just like the eventually. That's like the retirement policy. On the way there, you have fun with it. You enjoy yourself. You accomplish what you're actually after. And that is making a mockery of the system. Admittedly, that's hard to do since the system already makes a mockery of itself. Black pudding for everyone! I've been in the mood for meat pie ever since we talked about it the other day. You guys suck. Alright.
Good day to you.
I'm pretty sure you could find plenty of ribs in the Raven Hill as well, but you might not have to wander so far at night. Ah, thanks. These will do just the trick. Please take this note to Eben Locke, Mayor of Darkshire. He and I are old friends, and when he reads it, he'll discover what you did for me. I'm sure he'll be just as happy as I am.
Safe travels.
Okay, thanks for the note. Let's see, what's the note say? The letters on this note flicker and dance across the surface. It is impossible to glean meaning from them. Bowels and brains for everyone. If I get elected supreme ruler of the entire planet, there will be bowels and brains for everyone.
King's honor, friend.
Letter? What's this all about? You fool! You've doomed us all! You're not the first fool to be manipulated by Abbercrombie. In fact, he did it back in Vanilla, too. The doddering old man is known as the Embalmer. He's a vile necromancer and a blight upon this town. And now, sewn together and given life by the very materials you brought him, his horrible creation approached. The hideous creature will be upon us in mere moments. You have any heart, you must help the Night Watch drive off the abomination and save our town. I'm coming to rescue the lot of you. I'm coming. Ah. Holy freaking crap! Holy crap! That, I mean, I guess an abomination versus several militia, the abomination would just beat the crap out of them. Also, notice how Abercrombie is actually riding Stitches. He's right there. In his necromancer's outfit, of course, because, I mean, why wouldn't he be? Okay, we did it. We killed Stitches. Thank God. That was, he's a bastard in Heroes, I'll tell you what.
Well met.
Oh, thank the light he's gone. I'll say you've made amends by helping save the lives of those here, Deutsch. Why would you just give him all that stuff? What is wrong with you, you stupid dwarf?
Be careful.
Ah, whatever. Well, do you need help putting out all those fires? It looks... Oh, nope, it's raining. The rain took care of the fires. We're okay, we're okay. Oh, was it confirmed, Samurai? I thought it was still just rumor milling about what was going on. And it appears to still be rumor milling from what I'm looking at right now. Whip, too far, too far.
Can I help you? See you around.
Let's see here. Down. I haven't actually seen anything about Dahaka actually being it yet. Oh, never mind. Here it is, right here. I just missed it under the avalanche of wild news. Oh, God. Melee warrior. Easy. Really. Interesting. Launches biomass. Oh, dude, he's got a mecha form. Awesome. And he still has his wilted arm, which is awesome. I have, actually, Eru. Only briefly, though. I haven't played Heroes in months. I haven't had time. Yes, Stitches used to be quite an interesting feature of WoW Vanilla. Whoops. I didn't see anything about a release date, but shrug. Not like I'm the person to ask about that. I didn't even know he was confirmed. It was funny because they had this picture that was teasing to, who the next hero was going to be. And it was literally just this hole in the ground. And then people are like, oh, it's Dahaka. And I'm like, I admittedly didn't get it. How do you get that out of the hole? What? And that's what she said. Anyways, so, why don't we... we could reclaim... Ah, yes, the reclamation of Nomergon that didn't actually succeed. Someday, we will reclaim Nomergon. Someday. The next thing I tend to do, Goldor, is to leap off of a very tall cliff.
What's your story?
Tobias is staying in town still. Master Harris warned him not to pursue his brother's fate. We all lead new lives now, after all. What the past is hard to let go of.
Watch your back.
Need a large amount of corpse weed for Master Harris's concoctions. Difficult to obtain, but we can't allow our supply to dwindle. Corpse weed's tough stuff to tangle with. The plant will get you before you get it, if you're not careful. If you'd like to help out, I'll eagerly pay you for your aid.
You wouldn't want to see me when I'm angry.
My kinsmen at Raven Hill are concerned with curing the feral Worgen in these woods. The condition itself cannot be lifted, but the sanity can be restored to those not too far gone. While most here have proven beyond help, we need an eye out for those who retain vestiges of their minds. Attachments to their old lives. I've seen a lone Worgen lurking at the Organ farmstead, digging in a pile of dirt. Could you check the pile of dirt, see if he's left anything?
Farewell.
Yes, guys. Shoot, I suddenly can't think of his name. The last boss of Nomergon will be the last boss of all of WoW. I'm not sure I want to see a green Worgen. That does not sound pleasant. Actually, Jenghise, I'm pretty sure what will happen is the gnomes will reclaim Nomergon, but in so doing, they will realize the incredible talents of time travel. And they will develop time travel machines, and they will go all the way back to the beginning of reality. But something will go horrifically wrong with the time travel device, and it will corrupt and twist all the gnomes into these terrible creatures called Void Lords. I don't know what Nost Vanilla is, so I'm going to have to say no, Nerd School. I mean, I've played Vanilla, obviously, but not... I don't know what that is. Ah! Hey! You know what? That's a good point. Let's do this. Poll. New. Oh, Nostalrius. No, I haven't played that, nor will I. Well, just the gnomes, specifically. Last Exile. Let's start heading north. The time of MMOs has passed. WoW is one of the last vestiges. It's not the only one, but it's one of them. Give me just a moment. I need to modify a command really quick. There we go. Yes, Kay. And that's the right link. Which it is. Fantastico. And we'll just put that up there. Whoop, that's not what I meant to do. There. Perfect. Okay. We'll just leave that up for a bit. You have to vote on the straw poll or else it won't be tabulated.
Any friend of Greymane is a friend of mine.
You have the corpse weight. Oh, thank you, Hunter. Sure, the Worgen may be turned to sanity with the potion that this would make. Will thank you as well.
That's enough gabbing for me today.
Oh, looks like it was a close call, but he ran off without harming you any further. He might still be fighting it. Master Harris must know. Hey, ding! Holy crap. Master Harris will want to know this immediately. Take this package of corpse weight to him.
Keep your chin up, eh?
This goes in C, this goes in F. Yay. I haven't seen anything about Artanis. Where are you seeing this? I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just pull up this. There we go. We actually can't anymore, Lilu. They don't support that anymore. So it's straw poll or nothing, basically. So we're over on straw poll now. Ah, there it is. Shadow Artanis. Which I don't even see. Oh, Shogun Artanis. I was misreading that. That's Shogun Artanis. Got it. Okay, okay. God. But anyways, back to the game we're actually playing right now. That's why I've got that thing up. Deutsch made a custom command just to bring up the straw poll link for anybody hopping in. And we'll leave that up for a little bit. Dip, deep, deep. Okay, this is really uncomfortable. Okay. Believe it or not, we're actually almost done with Duskwood already. A lot of these vanilla zones don't actually take... I shouldn't say call these vanilla. A lot of the New World zones don't actually take that long. We'll be back to one zone a day, if that, when we get to the 85 stuff. At current pace, by the way, we should be done with the Eastern Kingdoms in roughly 9 days. I already did the math. We'll see if we keep pace. Excuse me. Hang on. Yeah, okay, dialogue's still on. What brings you out this way, good sir? Welcome to my humble camp. I wouldn't call it pleasant, but it's somewhat private. Yes, I do, Eru. Beg your pardon, a Worgen at the farm. What we do here is not cure. The transformation cannot be removed from the afflicted, but the mind can be restored. Through alchemy. If there's enough left intact, this Worgen you've encountered sounds like he's fighting to stay aware. We've got to find him again. If he's fled the York instead, search behind the addle steed to the south. Inject him with this tranquilizer. You'll need to be quite close. Hey, Jitters.
You need something?
Master, Harris requires many reagents for his serums. He has been gathered them. Most of it's not so bad. I mean, corpsewood's pretty bad, but it's not as bad as the widow venom. Have you seen the widows around here? The hatches. They're the sight of a man, even with a gun. I can't. I can't stand to go out. Not dig him anymore, please. It's just too terrifying. If you'll do it for me, I'll gladly pay you. Please, just go get me my widow. Please, please.
See you later.
Okay, calm down. Jeez. Chill, dude.
What's your story?
It's a tragic land with a history of violence and despair. While many of the dead roam in the flesh, some are simply souls wandering in confusion. They deserve to be put at ease. Many of the souls gather at the Adelstead to the south, appearing before travelers. Take this censer of holy incense, sway it before the spirits. Let the offering of its gentle scent give them peace.
We are bound by a common enemy.
Several years ago, Stormwind's Captain Curzon. Oh, I remember you. That's
You
a
wouldn't
go-to
want to
direction.
see me when I'm angry.
It's not that hard, Samurai. All you have to do is be completely insane. Yeah. Excuse me, Mr. Forlorn Spirit. I offer you incense of peace. No peace, not... No, whatever. I'm just going to assume death means peace in this case. I mean, I'm the Lich King, and I'm in perfect peace. So, I mean, it's logical, right? I can't do G-Man. I also need dialogue to do G-Man. You can't just do G-Man with common, just normal talking. It doesn't work that way. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. It worked anyways. The bear's like, oh, I'll kill him for you, boss. No, no, no. Okay. Oh, crap. I'm gonna let it go for a bit. I doubt we have enough votes to really qualify as a consensus yet. I actually wouldn't mind doing voice acting for Blizzard. There's only a few voices I could do, like 2 or 3, but I feel relatively confident of the 2 or 3 I can do. I actually always have wanted a big, awesome bad guy voice, but I can't do that. I'm not actually good at it. Like, I would love to sound like Billy Zane, for example. Oh, darkness. Or I'd love to sound like Sovereign, or the Lich King, or Overmind, but I can't do that kind of a voice. Sadness. Like I said, I'm not actually that talented as a voice actor. I can't do impressions either. Like, people keep being like, you should do this kind of a voice. I'm like, I have no idea how to. I don't even know where to begin. Oh, light, Goldor. Like, universally. For the light! Yes, I'm well aware of the fact that that is, I just forgot her name. I can picture her face, even. Jennifer Hale. There we go. Because my voice doesn't sound that villainous. I can't sound villainous. I try to. I try to sound like I am evil and death. But I'm not, so I can't. Now I can do crazy, but crazy's easy. Crazy's a joke to do. I would do a decent Sindragosa. Yes, I have, Bandit. Nothing super big or super professional, but I have done voice acting and acting in my past. Oh, God. Back over here. There we go. Just living with a heating pad on my back for the last few days. Oh, I could never do Vicarian. There's no Vicarian. Or there's no Shepherd without Vicarian, I know that. Jennifer Hale actually has a decent range on her voice. The only catch is, some of her voices sound exactly like her, like, when she does her British voice, it sounds like her British voice, so sometimes it's really clearly distinctly her, you know what I mean? And then you hear how she sounds when she's just talking normally, and it's just like, whoa.
Ain't you a chipper-looking one?
You've brought peace to those who only knew misery. Be proud.
Long live Greymane!
How are you?
Did you get it? Please tell me you got it. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You've saved me from going to have to go to those awful woods with those awful things. At least for today, that is. I'm afraid. Well, I'm also just plain afraid. But I'm also afraid I have to ask for another favor. He needs brains. Bear brains. They're part of the serum, or at least a substitute. I don't know. But there's plenty of black bears in the woods, but the west and the river. But I can't do it. I'm too terrified to go out there and give it usually. Please, 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 God, I'll pay you. I'll pay you to bring back some bear brains, please. Please. Okay,
See you around.
Let's go get you some bear brains. Jeez. See how many bears don't have brains. Oh, that one had a brain. It's heavier than you'd think. Stay a while and listen. I can't do Deckard Cain at all. Like, seriously. Totally incapable. No, I haven't done a Diablo lore run yet. And nor will I ever. Or maybe I will, I don't know yet. I have actively decided not to think about future lore runs after this one. This one's the big one. Anything after this is... we'll get there when we get there. Guys, I am secretly one of the Xenomorphs. Sorry. That's why I care so much about the lore, after all. Nope, I'm a Xenomorph. I have learned to emulate my prey, the predators, ironically. I think it is 100% unlikely they will make Diablo 4 now. It would be ridiculous and stupid for them to do so. A Diablo 3 expansion, I would say, is 100% likely. Okay, that's a little exaggeration. We'll say a 98% likelihood of a Diablo 3 expansion. Maybe 99. They're already ripe for it. In fact, Pax and I have actually had long discussions about this already. They already have a well-working, functioning engine that already has a lot of polish and a lot of flexibility towards it. So... they can do a lot with the existing engine. They don't need to make a new game. They could just come out with an expansion and then be like, fwazam. And now I gotta mute myself. Yeah, there are a few quest lines that are still kind of open-ended. The only thing that I'm really concerned about is the storyline seems very clearly to be going in the direction I don't want it to. AKA, we become the next villains. Again. Just like we did in Diablo 1. We did in Diablo 2, so that's nice. No, I mean the we literally become the next villains thing. Like, we have done the amazing, and we've done the impossible, but what will happen next? Dun, dun, dun. There's all sorts of hints of it throughout the Reaper expansion about how we will be the next big threat to everything. Like, it's so blatant, I hope they don't do it, if for no other reason than it's so obviously broadcasted, you know? I say, admittedly, in Diablo 3, we didn't kill our Diablo 2 selves. We did meet a couple of interactions from our Diablo 2 selves in Diablo 3. I wouldn't mind hearing more about what happened to the Diablo 2 characters. Like, we know the Necromancer founded an order and started, you know, a whole thing trying to prevent further demonic influence. And we know the Barbarian did his own thing, or her own thing. Oh, no, I guess it would have been a he. But that's like it. That's all we know. As an aside, I know the Diablo 3 lore disagrees with this, but I don't care. Because I personally think of the Barbarian in Diablo 3 as the same guy, or girl, as the Barbarian in Diablo 2. I know they don't agree with that, and I don't care. It's one of those it makes too much sense situations. It perfectly fits his personality, too. The seasoned war veteran who's just kind of tired, but has a great deal of wisdom about him. I mean, come on, you know? Anyways. Hey, Jitters.
Hello.
Did you get them? Did you? Oh, thank you. Oh, I never thought I'd be so happy to smell those brains. But now I'm happy I don't have to get them. Here's your reward.
Have a good one.
You got him. There's no time to lose. We'll prepare the serum right away. Jitters, get ready. I'm hopeful, but let's remain professional. It's business as usual for this one. Into the guillotine he goes. And if the alchemy doesn't take, he won't be getting back out. Jitters and I will attend to this. Please, just stand back and watch from a safe distance. Oh, dude, that was an awesome scene, Jackies. Here we go. Drink up. It's working. Hold them still, Jitters. I can't. Jitters. Damn it, Jitters, I said hold! Jitters!
I remember now. It's all your fault. You brought the Worgen to Duskwood. You led the Dark Riders to my family. You hid while they murdered my people. Every speck of suffering in my life is your pathetic fault. I should kill you.
Letting him go is the only thing that's going to separate you from the beast now, my friend.
You've got a lot to make up for, Jitters. I won't let you take the easy way out.
So yeah, it's Worgen. For those of you who remember him from back in Vanilla. He has apparently become cursed, and he remembers everything that happened with regards to the Dark Riders and the Scythe. I agree with that too, by the way, Baronessa. Because you're right, the female version is clearly younger, but the male version is clearly the elder type character, so... Success, finally! Can't thank you enough for giving me the chance to work the cure myself. Our new friend said he might be in need for help. You want to speak with him? Hello, Mr. Worgen. Before I was lost to the woods, the last thing I remember is Morbid fell. He was a vile necromancer, and the reason this land swarms with so many undead. I asked an adventurer to help me put an end to him. I thought they did. Apparently they screwed up because it was vanilla. But Sister Elsington tells me the land still crawls with ghouls and specters ripped from the grave. Morbenfell should have breathed his last on the house in Forlorn Row, north of the cemetery. Go see what's become of him.
I got a bad feeling.
Can you hear them, Deutsch? There's so many of them. They wander the grave, shuffling across the cold ground and rotted limbs. The dead cry out in the still air. They suffer in their own flesh, forced from sleep. Every night I venture to the graveyard to put more of them to rest, but it's never enough. Help me, Deutsch. Put the ghouls that swarm the cemetery out of their misery. Strike down as many as you can.
That's enough gabbing for me today.
So, anyone remember the Morbid Fell chain that took you all over the place back in Vanilla? Because I sure as hell do. It was a lot easier when, you know, you'd already done things like gone north to the wetlands, for example. But if you were just coming here straight out of doing the southern zones, it's like, Man, there are a lot of undead here. Look at all these. It's almost like this is a massive graveyard, and there's been a necromancer raising the undead periodically without check. I have to admit, this has got to look like a playground to one of them. Especially Morbid. So Morbid Fell was actually a human necromancer back in vanilla. One of the larger, more prolific necromancers back in vanilla, who wasn't actively a part of the Scourge. In fact, he wasn't a part of anything. He just practiced this particular type of magic. He was just a diseased individual all on his own. Weird how that works out, right? Ner'zgul, the next place we'll be going to is Northern Stranglethorn, followed by Southern Stranglethorn. And we actually will be skipping some of Northern Stranglethorn because there's not a lot of lore to it. It's not like we need the X. So, for example, we won't actually really be doing the Nessingwary stuff because there's really no need to. And after we do that, we will finally go do play our Forsaken character. And then we'll be going through Tearsfall, Silverpine, Hillsbrad, and then Arathi. One of the weird things about this situation is this kind of emphasizes why, I mean, undead and necromancers and all that, they're kind of a problem, but really it was only the Lich King and the Scourge. Damn it, Hylisk, really? That were a significant threat due to the nature of them and the fact that they were so advanced, so widespread, could turn just about anything into undead, and of course could basically get back up infinitely. A normal necromancer is completely limited by what they can do. They're limited by the flesh and bone and sinew, and they only have so much power they can call on at any given point in time. There's a grave here that says Morgan Lattimore. I have no idea what that means, but maybe someone in town does. Hey, there's some guy named Morladim. I don't know if that's related or not, and I probably shouldn't have done this, but whatever. Oops. Let's go see if... So this used to be the house where Morbid Fell lived. Hello? Is anyone here? Hello? Hello? Well, there's his hat. I guess he's not here. Oh, well. Looks like he is, in fact, dead. I have nothing to talk about. Everything we're seeing here, by the way, is an example of Type 1 undead. These are basically golems, reanimated bodies. So, again, very, very limited in what they can actually accomplish. Still useful, but only useful to a point. Any dedicated force is going to be able to defeat an army of Type 1 undead relatively easily. It's one of the reasons why they weren't that significant of a force during the First War.
Yes. Keep your chin up, eh?
How may I help you?
Well, I've got a lot of crap on me. You mind buying all of it? Because that would be awesome.
Keep your chin up, eh?
And that druid is still there. Weird. His clothes and its bloodstains. If it's not tricks, it's something worse. The others here share my suspicions. Morbid Fell must live on in undeath, and maybe even more powerful than before. A necromancer was struck down, but a lich has arisen in his place, and now he continues to ruin this land. I remember Duskwood before all of this. Bright skies, peaceful woods. This cannot stand! Morbid Fell must be stopped for good. So, weird idea, guys, that just occurred to me. We were talking earlier about reclaiming, Westfall and Duskwood. Why not reclaim Duskwood for the Gilneans? I mean, I know. They want to go reclaim Gilneas. But speaking in reality land over here, where they're not going to reclaim Gilneas, wouldn't it be cool if this became the new Gilnean hub, basically? As they take over and settle and try to restore this place from a horrible, cursed place of evil? No, Ner'zgul. The Lich King almost universally deals with Type 3 undead, usually Type 3B undead specifically.
Get gabbing.
But that's
get
because
going.
the Lich King was a sufficiently powerful necromancer to be able to do that kind of a thing. So are Death Knights most of the time, at least if they're properly empowered. Yeah, Greymane would never go for that. Ever. He would be like, no. We're going back and we're going to kill the Forsaken, and then we're going to do other stuff to the Forsaken that isn't for polite company. Ahem. Sven is correct. I can feel the presence of powerful evil deep beneath the Raven Hill. Evil lurks in its catacombs, and Morbid Fell may be the source. You will need the power of the light to strike him down. Sven told me the heroes who first slew him wielded an artifact light-forged iron, imbued with holy power. It's still here. I can feel it. A glimmer of light amongst the darkness.
Farewell.
Well, it's up there, apparently. But before I do that, why don't we go back to Darkshire really quick?
You need something?
Safe travels.
It's not harsh enough. I have to admit, if after Legion we have a proper peace settlement between the Horde and the Alliance, I'm really, really curious what's going to happen with Gilneas and South Shore. Because, those are the two big sticking points. There's not really much else that's going in one direction or the other. But, I mean... Alright, here's your spoiler, guys. I'm waiting until I have more than 26 or whatever votes to decide. That's really not a good share. There could literally be 60 other people who pop in and say no. I think the real problem, and I've talked about this before, is because of the issues of budget and justifying expense of content, it is most likely that at this point they're only really going to focus most of the new content development on the new stuff. So we won't really get to tie up the old little stories on the side like we'd like.
Greetings.
Morden Lattimore? Yeah, of course I know him. His was a long and sorrowful tale. I knew him well before he left the war, but that was the last time I saw him. A noble and a good man he was, but he suffered a bad end. Here, I should have something that I could tell that could tell the tale better than my own recollections. Let's see here. If you'd like to know more, you might like to ask Althea. She's the one to handle the trouble with him late.
For the Alliance.
31 votes. So yeah, again, 60 people could pop in and be like, no, and completely sway it. So
Hello.
Morden Lattimore. Never heard of... Oh, you mean Morladim. I guess you haven't heard the story. I'll give you the short version. A powerful undead calling itself Morladim has been wandering Duskwood. From what I gathered, it appears to be the undead body of Morgan Lattimore, of whom you apparently know. He's been causing us all sorts of problems. Attacking watchmen, killing people. You seem to be capable enough. Maybe you could lay him to rest. From what the scouts tell me, Morladim wanders throughout Duskwood, following a strange, meandering path through the cemetery. We buried him out past the house on the hill. You know where that is? There isn't anything I can help you with, but I wish you luck. Oh, hey,
careful.
It's an actual group quest. Holy crap. That historian's amazing. He's just like, BAM! Here's the story. Morning glory. Here's the tale. Nightingale. I'm done.
Need help? Have a good one.
Wow. Don't worry. After Elwyn Forest and Duskwood the Forest, the next thing we're going to be going to is a jungle. You got to admit, the human leveling path is kind of funny. It goes Elwyn Forest, Westfall, Lakeshire, Duskwood, Stranglethorn Valley. It's just woods, former woods, mountainous woods, jungle. I bet human players, when they're done here, are like, oh my god, give me anything else. Meanwhile, in the Horde, we have barrens, desolous. It's probably pretty low. It's a Friday. People are more interested in doing other things on a Friday evening. And I totally get that. It's just another day at work for me, but yeah. Because I think it's... Is this a Friday? This is a Friday. I am correct. Alright. The time has come to end the threat of Morbidfell. How's it going? You go out, watch a sports game, drink lots of alcohol, collapse into a pit of vomit. I have to admit, while there's some zones I really enjoy on Kalimdor, overall I do enjoy the Eastern Kingdoms better. If the South Barrens and Stone Talon were in the Eastern Kingdoms, that would just cinch it for me. Just bam. Buried in the cold dirt, you find a brilliant metal shaft, but there are holes where pieces of the artifact are clearly missing. In front of you, the bare earth slopes down. You can feel the tug of the artifact urging you towards it. Well, okay. Let's see what's down here. Physical training while drinking beer while watching me. Okay, hang on. I don't have any beer. Will Canada Dry do? Okay. Alright, I can't do that. I mostly do my physical training elsewhere. No, Shara was always a zone back in vanilla, and even connected like it was. It just was a terrible zone of terribleness. Seriously, old Ashara sucked so bad. But yes, Twitch has returned to us, ladies and gentlemen. Soon we shall conquer all with darkness. But first, Deutsch died right in front of us. Hey, what's this? The dirt of this alcove, the eye catches the shine of brilliant metal. You found another piece of the artifact. You attach the arch to the rod, and the artifact is nearly complete. A large gap sits at the center with the holy symbol's head. Once again, you feel a tug at your arm. Okay. Well, what's in here? I wonder where this goes to. Aha! In the darkest depths of this earthen tunnel, you spot the faintest gleam. The last piece is found. Pieces fit and the holy artifact is restored, gleaming with sacred light. Now, this should allow you to defeat Morbidfell's dark magic. Hello, Formosan. Alright, pop quiz. You have to live somewhere in Star Wars. You have to choose between Coruscant and Nar Shaddaa. Which do you pick? Holy crap, it's Morbidfell at his underground laboratory where he... So again, these are Type 1 undead. To clarify really quick, for those of you who haven't heard me explain this a million times, a Type 1 undead is basically a golem. There's no life. There's no unlife. There's no souls attached. It's basically a construct built out of the bones and flesh and sinew and spirits of the original being. So these are desecrated dead, but they're not actually undead in the strictest sense of the word. And where did Fel go? Oh, someone killed him while I was talking. That's just that's just my life in a nutshell. So let me explain this. Blah 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 blah. And in the background, there's this epic battle going on. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. We'll say you make average money, or you like you either have an average job or you have an average amount of money, and not too much, not too little. Damn it, frickin' dwarves! I'll hide in here. He'll never actually, he'll never find me down here. Oh crap, he found me! Kill him, quick! Go, Talentooth! Kill him, Talentooth, kill him! Talentooth! Oh, there we go, okay. I reduced your protections, you vile necromancer. I kill you. In the face. The best place to kill someone. The one just really wants Legion spoilers. I suppose I should read this. See you around, Nursghoul. Morgan Lattimore was a great and noble knight who fought in defense of the innocent, the poor, and the afflicted for many years. He worked diligently through the outlying areas of Azeroth, bringing relief to the suffering and swift justice to evildoers. He was married to a young girl named Liz in the summer of his 18th year. They were much in love and produced 3 children, a son and 2 daughters. Morgan was 32 when war broke out, when war were declared. Lorerun, in Lorerun.
What can I do for you? See you around.
Ahem. Morgan was called to the side of the legendary paladin Uther the Lightbringer to fight against the orcs and undead. Leaving his wife and children in the safety of his home, Morgan left for war. The years passed on, and the war dragged on, and Morgan would witness many horrific events, including the disbanding of the Paladins of the Silver Hand, the death of Uther, and the spread of the plague. The only thing that kept him from the brink of madness was the knowledge that he would someday be reunited with his wife and child. Morgan would eventually return to his homeland, but find it nothing like how he remembered it. The once verdant forest corrupted and teeming with the undead and other dark forces. Destroyed houses and farms could be found everywhere, and the cemetery near Ravenhill now dominated much of the area. A shocked and bewildered Morgan eventually made his way home, only to find it in ruins. Not knowing what has befallen his homeland, he headed toward the village to find his chancers, and he hoped his wife and children. Morgan inquired about his family, but found he could not find any answers. A priest in Darkshire, as it was now called, said that in his search he might check the gravestones at the Raven Hill. Morgan refused to believe his family was dead, and continued to search every farm and house in Duskwood to no avail. Morgan rode from Darkshire to nearby Lakeshire, thinking perhaps his family had fled. On the way there, he decided, against his better judgment, to stop at Ravenhill Cemetery, even though it's in the totally opposite direction. Morgan spent hours walking amongst the gravestones. He recognized many names of people he knew and became more and more distraught. And there he saw them, a small, untended plot amongst the many, with 3 small gravestones. A feeling of dread washed over him as he approached, and Morgan brushed off the dust of the most prominent gravestone to reveal the name on it. Liz Lattimore, beloved wife and mother. Morgan's apprehension turns to dismay and then to grief, and he fell to his knees, weeping. For hours he stared at that grave, begging the cold stone for forgiveness and sobbing apologies. Then, hours later, something in him snapped, and he lashed out, brought his sword out of its scabbard, and began raining blows on the gravestone. Screaming in rage, blind in his fury, he lashed out wildly, catching the notice of a trio of the cemetery's attendants. As they tried to restrain him, he turned his focus on them, hurling accusations of guilt upon the innocent attendants, then killed them all. When the rage passed, realization crept into Morgan's mind. He saw his bloody sword driven into the chest of one of the attendants. Driven to the brink by his emotions, he removed his belt, He's removed his belt from his belt knife and plunged it into his heart. Morgan Lattimore's body was found, and the body of his 3 victims were found the next day. He was quickly buried without ceremony in a hastily dug grave on the outskirts of the town. Because he had committed murder against innocence, something that went completely against his beliefs and his nature, and because of his grief, he could not die a peaceful death. He instead lived on as one of the restless dead. Only days later his grave was disturbed and his body could not be found. The being that was Morgan was now wanders Duskwood, consumed by his grief of the loss of his wife and his children and his own self-hatred. Morladim, as he now calls himself, is mindless with vengeance and hatred and has been known to commit murder indiscriminately. I don't blame you for having some trouble with him, Deutsch. Some of our strongest watchers have been lost to Morladim. You killed him. It's no small feat. On behalf of the people of Darkshire, I thank you. There is one small matter, however. I should have told you this earlier. How do I put this? Morgan believed his family was dead, but in fact, his daughter is now a watcher. She's been always troubled by the circumstances surrounding her father's death. Maybe you could bring the news to her.
Safe travels.
Oh, she's right here, as it happens. Excuse me.
Well met.
Yes, my father... I wish there was something I could have done for him. If only I'd talked to him before he... Here. Take this and lay it on his grave. Perhaps, somehow, he'll know I'm okay and none of us told him and none of us hold him responsible for what happened. Owen, thank you.
Go with honor, friend.
But yes, back in vanilla, Morladim hit like a truck. He was not something you just fought idly. And he did roam most of the graveyard back in vanilla. He roams a much smaller area now. Wow, Django. He does. He gives what was at the time a pretty awesome looking sword, which is actually this one right here. It's decent stats too. Although the original sword was actually better, but you know, shrug. You'd also be surprised how many people would confuse Morladim for Morbid Fell back in the day. May the disgusting monster stay dead this time. I'll head down there and scatter his remains to ash myself. Yay. So Morbid Fell is dead again. Why don't we head north and give peace to Morladim before we finally are done with this accursed terrible zone. At least until the Gilneans reclaim it. Sol Gilneas 2.0. There we go. Gotta admit, it's kind of a logical choice for the Worgen to settle Duskwood, you know. Oh, really? Hey, Nethrazim. Hey, look, it's Morladim again. What's up, dude? Listen, I just killed you, but... Probably not, Genghis. We did that briefly in Kata. Although, well, let's just say in Legion I've seen people do that. So, we return the ring here, and he says, Sarah? Could it be she's still alive? Oh, the weight is removed from my shoulders. Deutsch, take my sword. Arceus. As my soul is put to rest, I have no more need for it. It was forged to do good, and though I have proven myself unworthy to hold it, perhaps you will carry on the light through it. My sword, Arceus, served me well in my past life. But now that my spirit has moved on from this unhappy existence, I need it no longer. I shall cling to the love of my daughter and hope I will find forgiveness under the light for my sins. And that is it for Duskwood, the cursed, terrible wood of awfulness. The next zone will be hitting a Stranglethorn Vale. And apparently we'll be doing the Nessingwary stuff because we're terrible. So I'll see you in a bit, guys.